Greetings, YouTube! Welcome to day 2 of Prof. Hoff's beta test blunders. I don't know why the heck I titled this that, but you know what? I thought of it on the spot, and now I'm doing it. So, is it weird? Sure, why not? But hey, that's this channel. It's quirky, it's unique, it's Oklahoma. So here's the deal. We have day 1 now in the books of the beta, but we don't just have one day of Alliance Quest nodes to talk about because yesterday was no retreat, which, to be fair, I need to make a better point of this today. This is technically optional, right? They're not going to force this on you. But when people hear that, they also say, well, Prof, that's not exactly 100% true because Alliance Quest is all about the best rewards. So if you are used to placing in the top 300, let's say, and then you guys are like, this is stupid. I'm going to lose my champs before tier 3. I'm not going to do this. But then 3 other alliances decide that they're going to go with the global, and suddenly you're placed in like place 400, and the difference in rewards might be substantial. Then you're going to feel either pressured to go against what you want and go with the global to get more points, or you're just going to have to be okay with worse rewards. Or the third option is you're just going to throw your hands up and say, screw it. I'm sick and tired of this BS. I'm done. So we're going to go again in map 5 because I am a map 5 player. And as always, you are going to hear some annoying tapping because my iPhone 6S, the relic that is the iPhone 6S, is something that I still use. The only thing I plan on doing at some point, hopefully this week, is changing out the battery for the first time in like 3 or 4 years since I've had it. So that will be how I upgrade. Why? Because I still like the headphone jack. And people are saying, Prof, you should just go on Android. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. But then again, everybody on my family uses Apple, and I like iMessage, and I'm trapped in the Apple world. Oh, good. I just took a special one to the face. That was stupid, by the way. That was not the Bane node costing me. That was just me being dumb. Stupid kabam, making me do dumb things in fights. Roar. All right, well, we're going to take the outside lane again. So I do think that Bane is not as big of an issue as, say, the no retreat, because if you're fighting smart, you aren't going to get hit. You obviously do have more of a shall we say, a cost if you get hit with Bane. And then you've got to really time. Now, so this is what's interesting about this one. So you've got to time it well, because if you are not timing it well, and in this case, one thing I want to say that's been very consistent for me, and maybe it's just me, but I don't think so, is that in the newest update of Alliance Quest, the AI for the enemies, I don't care if it's Sentinels, I don't care if it's Ultron, drones, whatever, is so extremely passive that you can't bait a special very well. And it's like you're fighting in slow motion. And so if you're like me and you're a heavy parry player, when the AI gets super passive, what you have to do is take chances. And that's where the computer will intercept you and get you into trouble. And that is not ideal, unlike this perfect fight against Angela, which is definitely ideal. If you learn nothing else from this video, by the way, you should realize how amazing 565 Omega Red is at Sig 200 with Max Suicide build. Because, yeah, it's literally my favorite champion now of all time, which is saying something because Quake is indeed my bae and will always be, because she shook up my life. Quite literally. So, I don't expect these fights to be that difficult, because they're going to be over before the Bane even runs. Well, unless, of course, you have that wonderful trick of, hey, it's Hela's Awakened ability that keeps her alive. I've also tried to record this after a long day of teaching. Sometimes when I get loopy, people say, Prof, were you drunk? And I was like, yes, drunk on the exhaustion of higher education. It is its own toxins. But it's also quite rewarding, I've got to be honest. All right. Oh, see, so I went to parry at the beginning of the fight, and Sentinel just stood there, right? And so then I put my guard down, and he hit me. It happens so often to me. And maybe it's just because I'm not the greatest fighter in this game, but I feel like it happens to a lot more than just me. Has it happened to you? Comment below. Let me know. Give me some feedback. So really what we're doing is we're just kind of showing Bane. Now, Omega Red maybe isn't the best use of all this because I'm also knowing that quite a few people do map 5, and even though the enemies are technically worse, your PI is not as high because the prestige of my alliance is so great that is what we do to get away with not doing a lot more map 6 and certainly map 7. But I, quite frankly, would rather get worse rewards and relax than constantly have to move with the demands of map 6, and I don't even want to think about map 7. I don't have the manhood to fight map 7. So I do think I'm more on board with Bane, but I say that also knowing that, let's say this is a fight against Hyperion, because I still think overall Hyperion is the most annoying boss or mini boss for map 5. And let's say that you're with a power control champion, but for whatever reason Hyperion pushes to the special 3, which will take almost all of your health down, even if you have a 565 5-star or a rank 2, say 6-star. Well, you're still going to be in a position where that Bane is also immediately on you after the special 3 expires. So unless you are very aggressive and you immediately counter, you're going to be dead instantly. So the theme of my first day of this global is still the same. You're still going to have a much harder time against these mini bosses, but at least you can dex without worrying about losing things. Because, you know, that right there that I just did to bait the special 1, that would have cost me health yesterday with the no retreat because I did a double dex. But look at how passive the AI is in this fight. I'm dexing all kinds, and it felt like an all or nothing node for about 20 to 30 seconds. And that is the huge issue when I don't want to push Morningstar to a special 2. And that's also going to come into play with the Bane, because right now I don't want to hit. I want to bait, but it's so passive that I'm suffering a good amount of Bane damage just because I'm trying to be smart and bait the special. And before, of course, I would have lost no health. So that really is the takeaway. I think most people, when they have a plan for their path in Alliance Quest, particularly map 5, they're going to be fine for the normal path. It's going to be those mini bosses that already are a headache that cause so much grief. I think the no retreat is still a BS cash grab node that if enough people do, it's going to force people to be even more stressed. And Bane is not as bad. But at the same time, when you've got the Bane timer and yet the AI is so passive that it forces you to either take a risk and do like an intercept or to just take that damage until you've forced the opponent to launch a special, like a special 1 with Morningstar, you're just being put in a position where you're going to lose health, even if you're fighting perfectly. And for me, as somebody who's played this game now for 4 years, I still, I fight well, but I'm not a perfect fighter, and I'm probably never going to be, and that's just the reality of a situation that I'm in. So what do you think, YouTube? Would you agree with me that the passivity of the AI is setting up for getting wrecked before Tier 3 and being forced to shell out units for potions and revives? Or is Prof Hoff just whining again too much? Should he just be thankful the game exists and shut up like the trolls like to comment? Comment below, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching and supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel on this beta test day 2.